Okay, back on the camera again here. Today we're working on some molding. I know in the last video that I posted talked about showing how I was going to make some of this molding. Here is the a piece of molding that we're going to be reproducing. Not a really complex profile, but I don't have any knives for the molding machine that is this profile. So we're just going to take and use different cutters and different machines and several different passes, and we're going to make this molding. I only need a 5-foot piece of it, so certainly doesn't justify the cost of buying a set of knives. You can't buy it locally. If it wasn't for that, you could just go to the hardware store, home center, and buy it, and you have to order it. And then I don't think you could order a 5-foot piece of it. So. But anyway, I'm going to be setting up and changing machines here and doing different setups, and I won't video all that because this is going to take quite a while. But it's a really good customer here, and we're going to do this to get this project finished out. At any rate, going to be running through different setups here and different steps, and I'll try to show a little bit each step, but I won't show the changing and the setting up of the machine and all that, just running way too much time. So I'll spin the camera around here. We've got the arm saw. We're going to be doing a whole lot of this on the radial arm saw. And let me say, before we even get started, in the past I've had comments about my arm saw, and I even got an email from a viewer on YouTube wailing about me talking about the arm saw, and said it was just dangerous to even have one in the shop. So poo-foo to him. I don't care. It's my arm saw, and I use it in the amount of work, the things that you can do with a radial arm saw is amazing. It really is. It's a super versatile piece of equipment. Now, it's a complex piece of equipment. It operates on complex principles. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to it, and you've got to have it set up correctly. If you don't have it set up correctly, you'll never get it to cut correctly, and you'll never be happy with it. But if you take the time and get it set up properly, the kind of work and stuff that you can do on one is amazing. It really is. So the safety police can just move on. We're going to be using an arm saw. So anyhow, I've got it set up here, and I'm doing a cove. I'll show this again. This right here is cove. I don't have anything to duplicate this profile. So what I'm going to do, and I've got a test piece. And all my test piece is what I'll do all my initial cuts on. So we put a little cove in this. And this is the start of it. So we're taking the actual piece of molding we're doing, we'll start with this cove, and then we'll work out each side of that. So right now, we're putting the cove in this piece of wood with the arm saw. And then let me turn around here and explain to you how we got that going. Now some of these things are just, they're just holes. Of course we've got the feather board, and I've actually got the feather board screwed to the fence back here. It's wood. So I've got the feather board screwed to it to hold my stock flat. It had just a little bit of a bow in it. And then I've got two temporary pieces set up here just to actually hold the stock against the fence to keep it from coming away. And how we're doing the cove, if you've ever seen anybody make a cove on a table saw, and they make jigs for it. I think Rockler's got one, whatever. You mount it on your table saw in the miter slots, and you run your stock at an angle across the blade to create a cove. You just take a little bit on each pass. Keep bringing the height of the blade up, and it makes a cove. Well, it works the same way with the arm saw, except instead of the blade being on the bottom, it's on the top. So when you push it through, you can actually see what's going on and see what you're cutting. Just cut a little bit, and then you bring the arm saw down with each pass and cut a little bit, and keep on doing that till you get the size cove that you want. Now the direction in which you turn it and how much angle you've got on the blade when you do your cove controls the width of it. So I'm sure that there'll be a lot of study on it from somewhere, from some folks that is a whole lot more knowledgeable about explaining how it works. I got the concept and I can set it up and have it done, but I can't probably explain it to you in the technical terms that it would need to be if you was wanting to do some of it. But anyway, I'll show you a pass here on this thing. We're going to cut a little bit off of this board and show you how that works. You can see now I've made a couple passes. It's not all in one pass. But you can see, let me get the camera around here. You can see where the cove is started. So all we need to do is make this cove match. The cove that's in this piece of molding right here. So I'm going to check it and see where we're at. Okay, we got the piece coved out here. Let me grab it here and show you. This is going to be the depth of the cove that's in that piece. Of course, you know, we can see here it's just a board now. We got this cove started in it, and we're going to cut the rest of these profiles. But we're going to make out, going to do a little change in the setup here now. Like I said, I'm not going to show each step, but I thought this one might be interesting to some folks that never saw it. This is the arm saw with the motor turned out here, and I've got the guard off of it. And I'm getting ready to change the blade. I'm going to take the blade off of it, and I'm going to put a molding head on it, a 3-knife molding head. Now this is an old Craftsman. I'm not sure that Sears even makes these things anymore. With the way people's got fanatic about table saws and arm saws and that sort of thing, and the safety of them, and they scared to death to use them. I'm not sure that they make them anymore. There is some other companies that make molding heads though. Magic Molder, I think, maybe what one of them's called. Don't bank on that. That may not be true, but I know there's some more companies that makes these molding heads. And you can still buy knives and that sort of thing for them. Like I said, this is an old Craftsman I've had for, wow, I don't know, a long time. I've made a lot of molding with it. So anyhow, we're going to take that, and put it here on the arm saw. We'll take the standard blade off, put that on here, so we can continue on. Just wanted to show that, changing it out, and how it mounted on, and all that sort of thing. Nobody that had ever saw one of them. It's a serious looking piece. Well, it is a serious piece. And if not used properly, undoubtedly it can do a whole lot of damage. But when it's used properly, safely, you can do all kinds of things with it. So I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'll get this thing set up here and get it to go on this next profile, and I'll let you see that pass on that one. Okay, we got a test piece run. I got the saw set up here. I'll let you look at this. This is the profile that we're cutting here now. We're cutting this little V and then rounding over here. So now, and then later we'll come back and we'll round it right up into that with another cutter, another position, and we'll round this and shape it just like the other one. If you can see it, how it's starting to take shape here. I mean, we've got a ways to go yet, but you can see how it's going to form out when we get it cut like it's supposed to be. So anyhow, I got the machine set up, and we made this cut right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around here and make this pass and cut this piece, or cut this profile right here in the piece. Get around here where I can maybe get it working without me in the shot so much. Okay. Push stick. It does make a lot of dust, even though I've got some dust collection running on it. Now let me back the camera back up around here and get it and now you can see the profile starting to take shape. So now I'll turn the camera off and I'll get the saw set up again, and we'll make our next cut. I'll figure out which part of the profile we're going to cut next, and I'll get it set up and ready to cut, and I'll turn it back on and let you see that. Okay, we've moved over to the next machine here in the process of making this molded. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut this profile here. It's a small cove. I could have cut it on the arm saw. I just had to set up with the blade with less twist in it. But I've got a shaper cutter with that profile, that cove on it. Part of the shaper cutter's got that cove. So I've got it set up here in the shaper, and I want to use it. That way it'll be good and slick, and it'll be less sanding once the molding gets completed there. So. Next pass, the next profile we're going to cut right here will be a pass on the shaper, and get it around here and let you see how that works. Just be one pass to get this cove. I've already got it set up, the depth and the height, and I got the feather boards on it to hold it up against it so it don't move away and make a bobble on it. So here we go. So now here's our cove on the edge of it. This very edge right here will get cut with a 45 to make it mimic the original piece here. So we've got a flat 45 right here. So I'll take a I don't know, the saw blade or router bit or something and cut the 45 on this one as we progress. I still got to shape this, and there'll be a 45 over here on this side also. And then of course you get the two 45s on the back to make it a crown molding. So our next step probably will be to shape this in here and get this rounded down. So I'll figure out how to do that, which machine I'm going to use, and get it set up, and then we'll be back. And sometimes you don't have any other choice but to fall back into the original way of doing things. Of course, the hand tool people will love this, but I've got this thing, a profile laid out here, and that one last round over, the one that's right here, where I made the cove. You know, I've got a point right here where it stopped, and then where I made this profile. So I need to round it over. Now I've looked through my cutters, my shaper cutters and my molding cutters, and I don't have what I need. So right here's the last resort tool. No, not really. This is one of those weird shaped scrapers, cabinet scraper that's you know, that'll do curves and different size curves and coves. And anyway, I'm going to take this scraper and I'm going to work this thing down. There's really not that much there. It won't take but just a few minutes, and like I said, this one piece is all I've got here. So, but anyhow, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this scraper and I'm just going to work that sharp edge down. We can see it from off up there, but these things work really good. Cabinet scraper works excellent if you've never used one. But come right in here, and on that edge where it's protruding out there, just work it right down with that scraper. You can, I'll take the edge off, and I'll come back and I'll adjust on the profile a little bit. See, another thing about a scraper, let me show you this, and we'll talk about it just a little bit. If you've, of course, other people can, I've seen videos where people show you how to sharpen a scraper and all that sort of thing, and you definitely need to know that. It took me a long time to be able to get to where I could do it, to sharpen it and make it work. But at any rate, when you sharpen it, you want to see shavings. You want to see these little fine shavings like this. If you're making dust, your scraper is not sharp. You want to see these real fine shavings. That's how you know if you've got your scraper tuned properly or not. But anyway, I'm going to continue to work this thing down by hand. The profile is almost done. I get this scraped down here, and we'll 45 the two edges. And that'll put us back in the shape of the original, which this is an angle. I think they're 45. I hadn't checked them yet, but we'll match them whatever it is up here on top. And then we'll cut the backside angles to make it crown. But I don't know whether it's 45 or not, but I'll check it before I actually cut them. But when I get this scraped down, cut those two profiles on the top, and then we'll cut the bottom to make it into a piece of crown, and we'll have it. All right, we've got back on this molding project. Didn't get to finish it up yesterday. I got called away yesterday, Friday. I got called away on another job, right? Kind of an emergency type thing there. But anyway, had to stop on it the other day. So we're back here. I've been back here working on it again, and I just realized I didn't complete the video. So I've actually got the molding made. I've got the profile cut on it. I just made the two 45s on either side of the front of it up here. Did that on the arm saw. Didn't have it set up to video that, but it was nothing but just a 45 cut. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut the 2 profiles on the back. They're not going to be a 45. I don't know what I did with the original piece, but it's not 2 45 cuts. It's 2 different cuts, and I will see what those are, and I set that up. I think we're just going to go ahead and cut that on a table saw. It'll lay flat, and that way we'll. If I done it on the arm saw, we'd have to turn it upside down like this, and we've already got the profile cut, so it could lead to some rocking and it not get the angle just right. We cut it on a table saw. We'll have this flat back to work off of. So that'd just be a better option. That way we can get exactly the angle that we set the blade on. So just wanted to stop here a second and show that. I'll take it over here to the table saw and I'll make that cut. And we're going to have this piece of molding finished. Okay, got the angles figured out on this crown. This is not 45s on the back side of this. You got one side that's 38 degrees and you got another side that's 52 degrees. So that puts you up on the wall. So we're going to cut the 38 degree side here on the table saw. We're going to wind up, I guess, cutting the 52 side on the arm saw after all, simply because I don't want to have to move it, although I could. Anyway, going to cut the 38 degree here on the table saw, and we're going to probably move over and just go ahead and cut the 52 degree on the arm saw instead of rearranging the table saw and doing all that kind of crazy stuff. Just to be easy enough to take it over there and cut it with the arm saw. I'll just be sure that I keep it flat and don't let it move. I'm checking it here on the top of the table saw with it where it's flat, and if you hold down on it, it will hold it flat and level. So we'll go ahead and cut the 38 degree angle on the table saw, and we'll move back over to the arm saw and cut the 52. Okay, that gives us exactly what we had on our other piece. Now we'll go back over to the arm saw and set up and cut the 52 degree, and we'll have a great piece complete. Now we're looking good. So now we've got the profile on the molding. That matches the original. The profile on it. Hard to see the new one with the raw wood without any stain on it or anything, but the customer will be a stain in it. I won't be. So anyway, there we are with the new molding completed and ready to go up. So there we are. We've got that piece of molding complete, and it's ready to go. I'll take it over here and rub it just a little bit with some sandpaper, make sure I don't have any high spots, and check it once again there where we scraped it down to make sure I didn't miss anything. But that seems to be it's going to be fine, and it's ready to go. Got one more little small piece to make. It only gets just a a cove, which I already got cut in it. I actually used the shaper to do that. So I got to make one more pass on the arm saw here. So not even going to video that. It's just a small piece and nothing exciting about it. Anyway, the customer's going to be happy. We've got the doors completed. Got the doors completed. Now we got the molding completed. I'll go ahead and rub this a little bit with some sandpaper and check it and make sure that it's good. And I'll be able to call a customer and tell him it's ready. And anyhow, until next time, thanks for watching.